time has lost all meaning. And as you know, we're in the process of closing the store. So we're shipping like 50 orders a day.
At least.
And somehow we still have so much inventory left. Maria's asking, we already got a question. Maria's asking if there are machines in the store that are available. So technically we could still order you a Bernina if you wanted a new one. We've sold off all the Classroom BO5s, and coming up, we will be selling another round of store machines, like the floor models and the Classroom Berninas, but we are not ready to do that yet. We'll send an email when that happens. Today, we're going to talk about the Lovely Day Block of the Month, which we have talked about once before when we originally launched it, but we're talking about it again today because we're about to close signups. The first month of this block of the month is November, which I can't believe is like in a week.
Yeah.
And so therefore we have to close signups because we need to know how many people we have so that we can order the fabric and cut the kits and all that. So for this block of the month, it ships mid-November for the first shipment. So we're planning to close signups on October 31st, which is Halloween. Not that it's relevant that it's Halloween, but just, for your own head to like mark that time.
Right. End of the month. Yep. Same day as all the QuiltCon entries, if anyone is doing
that. I forgot about that. That's a good reminder
Which I have
for people.
On my mind because I have one I have to finish.
Yes, she has to mail hers. Although, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. So we actually are limited in how many spots we can take for this block of the month because we picked a couple of fabrics that are actually discontinued for it, which maybe was not the smartest thing to do, but we did it because we liked them that much.
We can still make a lot, though.
Right. So we actually have already sold 2/3 of the spots that we can, 2/3 or 3/4. One of the two.
So, those are close.
We've almost sold out of this block of the month, but we still have room for some more signups. So we figured we would do another video so that you can ask us any questions. Since we've already launched this, you may already be aware of it, but you might have some questions that weren't answered in the FAQ, or maybe you were waiting till the last minute. This is the last minute. I'm going to put the QR code up on the screen so you can click if you want to go through to the website and look, but we'll just recap real quick. This block of the month is a educational block of the month. We are focusing on applique for this quilt. As you can see, it is floral themed, but we did like a modern take on a floral, it's not quite like a Baltimore album vibe.
Not at all.
But it is that same technique where you have the blocks that are appliqued that have, different designs on them. And when Tamara Kate designed this, she wrote this for fused applique, meaning you take the fusible and you iron it on the back of the fabric and you peel it off and then you applique it with an iron again onto another piece of fabric. But which is super
easy, by the way.
It is a pretty easy system. It's like
the only kind of applique I do.
You don't have to finish the edges. It's kind of nice. But we thought that this pattern would lend itself nicely to also do needle turn applique. Not every single block is perfect for needle turn applique, but a lot of them are. So what we decided to do to make this a learning kind of a block of the month is we're going to be teaching both of those techniques, fused applique done by machine and needle turn applique, which is done by hand. We're doing videos to teach you those two techniques. Sorry, I'm switching over to the chat to see if anybody's said anything. And when I say we, it's really Jen who's doing the videos, just so you know. Jen does beautiful applique.
Yes. And is good at doing the online teaching.
She's got lots of experience. A little bit
more experience than we do.
It's true on video education. Yeah. So when you sign up for this block of the month, what you're getting not only is the monthly shipments. This one has 3 shipments that are every other month. Right. Yep. So it's a 6-month block of the month, but only with 3 shipments. Not only are you getting the pattern, the fabric, it's that normal thing that you get with a block of the month, you're also getting instruction. The videos are going to be pre-recorded, so you can watch at any time. Like if it's 2 a.m. and you want to sew, you can watch the video then. You can also watch them.
To watch it 5 times in a row.
You can watch them as many times as you want, and you'll keep having access to them even after the block of the month is done. So you might be able, you are able to maybe in the future you're doing some other applique project and you can refer back to these videos anytime you want for it to learn the technique. So I'm really excited about that part of it because people are kind of intimidated by applique. We hear about it all the time. And it's the kind of thing where if you get some practice in, then it's not scary anymore, which I guess is kind of true for almost everything.
Most things.
It's like no one's born knowing how to do needle turn applique or anything.
How to walk.
How to eat.
Right.
So it's like,
as I remind my daughter all the time.
What, that she doesn't know how to walk?
No, that she doesn't, you're not born knowing how to do anything. You have to learn and practice.
Is it because she gets frustrated having to learn things? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Or because she's not as good at, coloring in the lines as I am. I've been coloring for 40-some years. Right, exactly.
Wait, she's not even 8.
She's 6.
She's 6, yeah. She just looks 8 because she's very tall.
She does look like she's 8, yeah.
Yeah, so we talk about this in every class we take, right? Yep. Like adults really are not comfortable not knowing things. And so we all are so judgmental of our own skill set and critical of the work we're doing. Yeah, but like if you're learning something new, there's going to be a learning curve to it, right? The beauty of a project like this is you get a lot of practice and the shapes are super organic.
That's what I was going to say. These shapes are perfect for learning because none of them are perfect.
Right.
The circles are not perfect circles.
Right.
The rainbow is not a perfect arch.
So like everyone's quilt will be slightly different because
if your line isn't perfectly straight or perfectly curved, no one's going to know.
Right. And when you're tracing an applique template, you might cut it slightly too big or slightly too small. On this one, it doesn't matter at all. It like the whole thing is super organic and like not improv because there's a design to it, but like seriously, like if this was a little bit fatter, it would still look good. So
I think we should show them close-ups too.
Oh yeah,
because I don't think we've done that yet.
Close-ups?
Yeah.
You mean take it off?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Since we didn't pin it, it could fall down at any second anyway.
And this quilt size is the size that Tamara Kate,
just
the
so
designer,
you can see a little bit of the fabrics here. I'm not doing a great job, am I?
No. All right, so let's hold this one up. This is a block.
So this and is this one needle turn or fused?
This one was needle turn by Jen. So the way we made the sample by actually doing both techniques.
And I think
in our sample, every block that has a colored background is fused, and every block that has a white background is needle turned. And this wasn't done for any real important reason. It was just so we could split the work, and I could do half of it, and Jen could do the other half, so we could get the sample finished.
So yeah, so this just gives you a little bit better idea of what fabrics are used.
Yeah, which is your favorite block, do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll have to put it back up for that. Hopefully that's kind of straight. Close enough.
It's not at all straight.
Not at all. This way? Good enough.
I think my favorite one is this bottom one.
I do love the colors in that one.
Yeah.
I like those shapes of the art. I don't know. I like a lot of them. I like these little lollipop flowers.
Yeah. And I like how Jen quilted.
And the moths. Yeah, it's tough. I'm not sure.
They're all really nice blocks. So this size, oh man, that's really crooked.
That's
this size is the size in the original pattern that Tamara Kate wrote, and it is a little bit of a small size, like a small throw, or a really great wall hanging size, right? So this size, I forgot what it is.
41 by 54.
41 by 54 is the original size for this quilt. But while we were making it, I kept thinking like, I kind of really like this quilt, and I wish I could make it bigger. So we actually Andrea actually designed a bigger size of it, and we're calling that the XL size. Let me show you a picture of that.
And I don't remember what size it is.
60
square?
6 square.
Okay.
So
that's a generous throw,
right?
A good couch size,
cuddling under kind of size.
Even 60. So a queen size mattress is 60 by 80. So you could actually put it, just under your pillows and cover your bed. That would also look nice.
Yeah. So we're offering 2 options. Well, actually, there's way more than 2 options because we can never help ourselves.
We can't do things simple.
But 2 size options. So the size that's hanging up is like normal Lovely Day. And then the size that I just shared the picture of is Lovely Day XL. Basically, it's double the blocks.
Right.
and makes a square quilt instead of a rectangular one, it's actually double the blocks plus 1.
Right.
So there's 25 blocks in the XL size, there's 12 blocks in the regular size. You're essentially making every block twice, and then pick your favorite one and make it a third time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the last month,
you could even combine. You could make totally new blocks. Actually,
that's true.
You could just take, you know, this shape and put it with this flower, or put some arches with a moth.
See, this is what Andrea would do because she likes to complicate everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you do not need to go to that level. You do not need to stress yourself. Just, you know, make each block twice.
But if you want to,
yes, if
you have fun with it.
If you want to make it very much your own unique thing, it would be pretty easy to do that.
That's what I would do if it were
me,
because I have to make things.
She does make things complicated. So what else should I talk about with the, okay. So you get 2 shipments that have applique and block fabrics in them to make the 12 blocks or the 25 blocks. And then the last shipment is the sashing and the binding to assemble the whole project. And in our videos, we're only going to cover the applique technique and like how to use this pattern. This was not written as a block of the month pattern.
Right.
So there is some explanation involved in just
how it's broken
following
down.
the instructions differently than what she had. So we're not going to cover things like basting or regular
Sashing,
piecing or
binding. It is constructed. The blocks are totally, you know, you've got one strip that goes all the way across. You have the short ones that go in between.
Oh, for the sashing?
So you're constructing it the same way you would any block-based quilt with sashing.
Did I ever tell you that I never do that when there's sashing like this?
What?
I always make cornerstones, even if the pattern doesn't talk about doing that. So here's a tip for anyone who is as sloppy as I am with piecing, or doesn't want to pin, or doesn't want to measure. So
coming out.
I don't like piecing. Everybody knows I'm not the piecer. She's the piecer. I'm the quilter, right? Anytime I have to do this kind of thing, and you want your blocks to be
you want them to
right?
match.
So the problem with the big long piece is that it's kind of hard to get your blocks to line up, right? So if you're not going to go slowly and pay attention. So there's a term in quilting which is cornerstone. Usually they're done decoratively. It's when you have a square
have a different
right in here that's a contrast. But all it is a square that is this. I don't remember what this width is.
Like
pretend it's 2 inches.
Yeah.
So the cornerstone would be a 2-inch finished square. So it means you cut a 2.5-inch square. But the beauty of doing that, so this would be a pieced strip where
so
there would be seams here, and then you can nest your seams, and then they perfectly line up.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I do that. Anytime I have sashing like this, I tweak my pattern and I make seams there, even though they're not needed. Oh, she kicked the camera.
Sorry.
They help me line up my blocks, and then I have a neater finished quilt in the end.
That is a nice little trick, though.
Maybe I'll make a video about that trick.
Yeah.
Because I really do that
and it would be easy
time.
to do the math, too.
Yes, because it's it's the same size as your,
Right, your vertical bars.
Yep. So maybe I'll make a video about that little trick that I learned along the way somewhere after having a lot of these that didn't line up.
And I didn't teach you that one.
Yeah, because it's a mitigation strategy for me being sloppy, I guess.
Got it.
So Linda's saying, because I was just talking about cornerstones, would I use a different color? You could use a different color, but I meant that I would use the same color. Like this piece would still be this same.
I think it would look good with a different color.
Yeah, you could definitely do a different color. You could even do different colors in each one.
Anything.
It could be like the leftover of this here and the leftover of that there.
Yeah, I think this one, the Mama Geo, would make a good one.
Yep. And actually, you end up with a lot of this leftover because this fabric's only used in that one spot.
And you only need, you're probably right, it probably is 2 inches, 2.5 inches squares.
Yeah, it could be cool to do different ones. You could also,
a minimum of 6.
This, to me, this quilt kind of calls out for doing some handwork on it too, like big stitch hand quilting or embroidery.
Yeah, give the moth some little antenna.
Yeah, like we didn't do it on our sample because we wanted to keep it from being even more complicated. But I think if I was doing it myself, that I might add stuff like that. So like you could even do like in the cornerstone some kind of detail, maybe like the little bugs.
Oh, that would be super cute. Yeah. Little embroidered moths.
I really love this quilt. I think it came out Like,
it really did come out great.
we make a lot of quilts, and every once in a while we make one that I'm like, wow, this
Yeah,
one came out
and this was one of
really
them.
nice.
Yes, and the sashing fabric is an artisan cotton. So it has a different color thread in the warp and the weft. One is copper and one is yellow,
Yeah.
which gives it this really
Interesting color.
dimensional,
Yeah.
interesting color.
We had such a hard time picking this background color.
But as soon as we saw that one, it was like, that's it.
You may remember that we actually did a video about our process for picking a sashing or a background. And we auditioned like, I don't know, 15 fabrics in the
at
video.
least,
And we
yeah.
didn't pick any of those. We ended up picking a completely different one. And I really didn't want the quilt to be, because it's already a girly quilt, right?
Right.
Like we didn't want it to be super floofy, girly.
And some of them did look very juvenile. Like we tried a couple light pinks.
Right.
We tried some polka dots.
Right.
For some reason I had in my mind that I wanted like a polka dot.
Right. Because in the original pattern, she actually uses
a butterfly
fussy cut, very loud fabric. I'm going to put this really close.
Which is one of her fabrics.
Yeah. So she fussy cut a print into her sashing. And we actually looked at some prints.
Yes.
And
I was all about, I love fussy cutting. So I was all about finding something to fussy cut, and Yvette was.
And I kept saying I wanted to look more modern. I wanted to look simpler. Like her original is beautiful, and that's why I kind of got into this.
It does add another level of complexity.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants.
Right. And it's kind of fussy. Like
it's definitely fussy.
I wanted it to be more modern, more graphic.
I think you made the right call.
Yeah. And I really, really like how it came out. Maybe you're going to fight about who gets to keep the sample at the end.
I won't get to keep it because I didn't have any part in making it. So.
Oh, you did design most of it.
I picked the fabrics.
Yes, that's important.
But I didn't do any of the actual.
Yeah, and Jen did all the quilting and assembly too.
And
so
the
probably
needle turn. So yeah, she probably gets first dibs on this one.
So she's already making a second one.
Oh, well then.
Jen has a habit of making the same quilt multiple times, especially if she needs to teach it. She'll start more samples in different, and I think she's decided to do one in all indigos.
Oh, that'll be really
pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a pattern that I think would look good in and you could do it in a whole different color.
That's true.
And it would look really great.
Yeah, and we do have the pattern in stock. So like if you don't want to do the block of the month, if you already know how to do applique, if you don't need the videos, you could just buy the pattern and come up with your own colors or, make your own version of the quilt. So we do have that in stock. If you scan the QR code, and you scroll down, you can see the pattern and just order the pattern if you want. And the pattern's 10% off.
There's also products that you and Jen chose.
Yeah,
that can be
the add-on
items when you're making this quilt.
Yeah. So on this one, we're offering, everybody's going to get the fusible that you need to do the fused applique. We're just including that in every package. And then if you know that you want to try out the needle turn, you can buy the add-on package for needle turn supplies, which includes some coordinating thread, a pen that we really like. It's like
needles, I think.
Yep. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, needles is kind of an important detail in that.
But the thread, Jen picked out threads that will coordinate.
Right.
I remember that.
It's needles, the pen, and thread. That's it. So those are tools that you're going to need to do the needle turn.
Oh, and the batting.
Yeah, and we separately also are suggesting our favorite scissors for cutting applique fabric, which is the Karen K. Buckley Perfect Scissors. They are so nice and grippy, and the handles are nice and big, so your hands fit. They're good for left or right-handed. Not all scissors work nicely for both. And they have these serrated edges so that if you were going to put multiple layers together, it'll cut nice and accurate. I really love those scissors, and we're offering 10% off on all these add-on items when you sign up for the block of the month. The other thing we have listed here, if you scan the QR code, you'll see all the extra stuff at the bottom. Those are all optional. So you can pick a backing that coordinates, and we'll ship you the backing. We have 2 different colors options. And we also are suggesting a light table, which you don't really need, but it does make it a little bit easier to trace your applique pieces. So I use a light table at home. You could use a window, of course, or you could use just a sheet of paper. So it really depends on are you a gadget person? Because I'm a gadget person. It's
a little luxury, but it is.
I like tools. I like having nice tools and making my life easier.
Yeah,
Um,
it definitely does make it
and
easier.
In this set of add-on items, for the first time, we've run how many block of the month programs now? We have never suggested batting ever before.
Because it hasn't really made any difference for any of the ones we've done before.
Right.
But
Like you always need batting. It isn't project specific. So like, yeah, we could have said all along, like, here's the batting you need, but like it seemed so
we never
unnecessary.
Right.
In this project, because we have these white backgrounds, we're suggesting a white batting. So it's warm and white is what we use. It's bleached white. So if you normally your batting is natural white, right? Like a linen-y kind of color.
Yeah, natural cotton color.
Which is fine in general.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a white background like this, it does look different if you put it on natural white instead of white. And because the whole work that you did is about these, so we're suggesting white batting so that you really see the work that you did.
Yeah, it's in this case, you want to make that extra effort to get the right batting.
It really will make a difference. It makes it look much more crisp.
Yes. Cleaner, crisper, lighter.
And it shows all the work you did.
Yes.
So those are, I think, all the add-ons that we're offering. So 2 size options. You also have the option to pay in full upfront or pay monthly. If you pay in full upfront, it's 10% less than if you pay monthly. Wait, it's not monthly, it's installments. So it's 3 payments.
Because it's every other month.
Right, exactly. So you get a 10% discount if you pay upfront, but if you want to break it down into 3 payments, that's fine. You can pick backing options.
For either size.
Yep. And then we have a couple add-on items to make your life easier. And Jen and I have started recording the classes already, and we've started setting up the space for the class. So we will host this just like we host all of our content on our community site, which is community.gothamquotes.com, which is free to join. And then there's sections of it that are paid content. So you can chat with people, you can share your projects and stuff like that. But then if you buy a block of the month, or if you join
one of
a
the
journey
journeys,
like we talked about last week, then you get access to the section of the site that is for that content. And that's where the videos live. So you just go to this one website anytime you want to access any of our content. It's all in the same place. And there's going to be more of it coming. Like,
yes,
this is
content.
Growing all the time.
We have a lot of ideas cooking. I just wish we had time to actually work on those ideas.
I wish we had figured out how to clone
filling
ourselves.
orders.
Yeah. I mean, filling orders is great.
Oh, yes.
Don't get us wrong.
Right. I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah. The solution is we have to clone ourselves.
Yeah.
So if anyone's figured that out, please share, because we need that. If we had like 2 of each of us, that would make such a difference.
Yeah. I'll get interested.
Imagine all 4 of us would fight, though.
I don't know. Yeah, I already have a mini me.
Yeah, you do, your daughter.
I want another me.
Yeah, imagine the 2 of you with her.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. It would be a lot of bickering.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have any questions about, I'm sorry if you can hear this siren. There's a siren stuck on our block. If you have any questions about Lovely Day that we haven't covered, you can put them in the chat. We can wait a couple more minutes to see if anybody thinks of anything else. We have about 16 people watching. So if you have a question, it's probably someone else watching probably has that same question. To reiterate, this is a 6-month block of the month where you get 3 shipments every other month. First shipment is November, then January, then March. Oh, so I guess it's a 5-month block of the month because there's no, 5 months, sorry.
Yeah.
Because it's every other month, but there's
not one after
in
January.
the end, right? So it was 3 shipments, November, January, March. And yeah, this is going to give you so much practice on applique. After this project, you're going to be a pro. Did I tell you Ellen signed up?
No, but maybe I knew. She asked if they had an embroidery machine component for this. When I was giving her the embroidery
quilting?
guide class. Well, just to do the applique.
Oh.
Which would have had to have been designed by the designer.
Yeah, that would be hard.
It wouldn't be if Tamara Kate did it, because she has all the... Anyway, there is no embroidery machine component.
Forget all that.
But in the future, there could be.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it's our designs,
right, we could do a machine embroidered applique. That's interesting.
Or have that be an option.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's
it could
an interesting
be either
idea.
machine or hand.
So what's funny about her asking you that is that So Ellen works for us, and she's also a great customer that we've known for years. And when we first launched this, I said, Ellen, are you going to do this block of the month? And she's like, I hate applique.
Yeah.
I took a class once. I hated it. I'm never doing applique. And I was like, okay, just so you know, we're doing classes. And then, I was like,
I'm glad she's giving it another try.
And then one day she comes up to me. She's like, I decided I'm going to do it. And I was like, yes, we've converted someone else to applique to at least try it again.
I think she only brought it up because I was giving a
guide class,
Bernina embroidery guide class last week.
Plus she has this new toy to play
exactly.
with. Yeah.
And I was showing her how to do embroidery applique with the embroidery unit,
right?
Which is pretty fun. So
yeah. Anyway, not relevant.
Yeah, not at all.
But
it did give me an idea for possible future.
Yeah, something else we don't have time to do.
Exactly.
Yes. So we have signups still open for about another week.
Yes, exactly.
Because Tuesday is the third. Yeah. So although it's possible we'd sell out before then, because if everyone who's watching right now signs up, then we'll be full, basically, right?
That's true.
So click or scan the link, go to the website. If you think of a question after we go offline, that's fine. Just send us an email. Our email is info@gothamquilts.com. And just an update in terms of the store closing. We're still open 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 12 to 6 for in-person shopping. And we're still shipping all the other days of the week for online orders. If you haven't joined our email list, that is definitely the best way to find out what's new. And since we are going to announce the classroom machine sale and the floor model sale, you really do want to be on the mailing list so that you have first dibs. We'll be working on that this week.
Yes.
And then announcing it hopefully next week.
Yeah, I was hoping to work on that today, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, we had a lot to do today.
There's always a lot to do.
Yeah, I guess that's a good problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's better than sitting here with nothing to do. That would, well, I can't.
You would find something to do if you had nothing to do.
I can't not do anything.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Next week we are taking.
Oh, I forgot. Halloween. Thank you for remembering.
We're taking Halloween off, so there won't be a video.
No Tuesday in the shop next Tuesday.
So that everybody, including myself, can go, trick-or-treating with your kids, or
I will not
answer the door at least. I like just staying home and answering the door.
Do you?
Yeah, and seeing all the kids in their costumes.
In my building, that the group chat started talking about like organizing trick-or-treating, and I was like, oh no.
Gotta go get some candy.
Yeah, I'll just leave a bowl in the hallway. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, that's okay too. But I enjoy seeing all the kids.
Yeah, I think you like kids better than I do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And
that's what she has one and I don't.
Yeah.
I've
stopped eating candy, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, you're gonna eat some Halloween candy.
I'm gonna eat candy.
Yeah. But. Anyway, thank you for joining us for another Tuesdays in the Shop. We are off next week, but we will be back. When is the next
important holidays of Halloween.
Yes.
And then are we going to have one on election day?
Yes.
Okay. Because historically we have been closed for election day.
Yeah. But we're not open to the public anyway. So yeah.
Okay.
So the next live will be November 7th.
Yes.
At the same time, 6:30. Did I forget anything?
Not that I know of. A lot of people have been asking how long the store is going to be.
Oh, right.
open.
Like when the last day will be.
We don't have a specific date, but I've been telling people 4 to 6 weeks. That's my best guess.
So like the real answer is it's going to be before the end of the year because our lease is up at the end of December.
Yeah, so everything has to be out by the end of December.
And like we have to have moved out by then, right? So do not assume we'll still be open to the public in December. It might not even be end of November.
Right.
Like come sooner rather than later if you want to shop in person. Plus, like we're selling out of stuff, right? So the longer you wait to come, the less stuff there will be here to buy.
Right.
Because the reason we aren't giving an exact date is because we don't know.
Right, we don't know
how quickly we can sell all the stuff we have to sell.
We're playing it by ear.
Yeah, and like last week we sold more than I was expecting to sell in terms of volume of stuff that went out the door, and we still have to do the like classroom machine sale.
Right.
There's like steps that are still coming.
Right.
But it's possible that we'll hit some point and be like, oh yeah, we're closing next week. So.
It's probably safe to say we'll give 2 weeks notice, probably. I think that's Okay. We don't know.
Yeah,
So
the
stay
point is, we don't
tuned.
know. Come sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if somebody comes in and just buys, hundreds of yards.
We did have another store offer to buy all our
Oh,
inventory.
that's true.
Yeah. So you should be happy we didn't sell it all to another store so you could have some deals.
That's right. Yeah. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. I don't know that would have worked anyway, but like, Maria's asking, is there any possibility to be open on Sunday? There is not a possibility to be open on Sunday. I'm sorry. We tried it years ago and it did not work then. And it's definitely not going to work now.
Yeah, this neighborhood is completely dead.
It's not only dead, it's also the staging for all sorts of things that happen in the city.
That's right. And they haven't finished with parades yet.
So when there's parades, our street will get closed so that the parade people can like line up. When there's like right now the streets around us are being repaved for the winter.
Oh, that too.
That they close our block and put like all the construction on it. So like Sundays is just a mess in this neighborhood.
Yeah, because almost all the parades, at least over the summer, they're all on Sundays.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare. That year we were open on Sundays.
I really wanted to be open on Sundays because like I personally will shop on a Sunday in a retail store. So like I wanted us to be open on Sunday. Plus we pay rent for 7 days a week.
Exactly.
But we tried it and it was just and the city doesn't tell us ahead of time. They only tell us like 3 days before. So you can't plan ahead. You can't message people when you have to be closed. It's there was one time the cops wouldn't even let me go on the block. I'm like, I have I own a store that is on this block. Why can't I go on this block? And they just would not let me come on the block. So sorry, no Sundays.
But we're open online every day, and we do have store pickup. So if you want to just run in real quick and pick something up and leave, we can facilitate that.
That's true. Like you could place your order if you could only come on Monday. Let's say you place your order when you get the notification saying it's ready for pickup. You can pop over, and we will hand it to you. Yeah, because we're here. It's just we can't
during the week. Yeah, we're usually not here on Sundays, but
that's true.
Days, during the week we're usually still here. Someone is here.
Yep. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you could pick up your order if you place an order for pickup. All right, I think that's it.
I think we covered everything.
I hope we get some of you joining us for Lovely Day. I was thinking that I might try to make another version of it too, because wouldn't it be interesting to do like the way Jen is doing, like just one color? I was thinking, what if it was like an ombre?
I love an ombre.
I know. So it was like just one color, but shades of the color going like dark to light or something. Or maybe like out to in or something. So I might make another one. We'll see.
I could.
You think I'll finish another one?
No.
I
can help you pick.
I just start things. Yes, you are good at that part. All right. Thank you for joining us for another Tuesdays in the Shop. We are off next week. Don't forget, we'll be back on the 7th.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.